Hey y'all, it's Keshia. Ascension symptoms and energy shifts. What happens? Okay. There are a lot of conversations about this, especially when there are energy shifts, when things start to happen. And you might wonder, well, what on earth is going on? What happened today to make everything so worse? And we have to we're all still learning a lot of this stuff, okay? So with the energy shifts, it means that something happened out there. Okay, whether it's a Mercury retrograde, meaning like the planet itself switched rotation, it's not moving in its normal rotation. Um, Venus retrograde, all the planets, they all have their times and they switch. And when that happens, it shifts the energy here. Kind of like when you heard about, when it seemed like a little wives' tale when they said, oh, when there's a full moon, more women have babies. When the magnetism and the energy shifts between such changes, okay, such as like the polarities, it does affect us here. It influences us in our communication. It influences us with our physical bodies. It influences us with our emotions. And as they continue to learn, as we as a collective start to keep gathering and communicating the changes and transitions we're going through, the more we start to acquire knowledge of how of when an energy shift is coming and what we're supposed to do. Okay. Many of the symptoms would pretty much outline like the ones that we spoke about earlier: headaches, fatigue, miscommunication. Uh, what else was I trying to say? You might feel chest pains, heart issues, pain in your back, in your spine, in your legs, and things like that. Each one, what I've also noticed, is also tied to your actual the chakra. Okay, in the physical body, the chakras in that area, they align to those physical regions. So, for example, if you notice that you start to get really fatigued and you're tired, there may be something that consciously you're holding, putting up some level of resistance to, and you're not wanting to let go of. So, therefore, the head pains are coming in, or maybe you're feeling more fatigued. So, it's best that you get your rest. That way, your subconscious can actually take over. You can actually do the work that needs to happen. Whether you start having dreams, you project, you leave, or you just go night night for a little bit, so that way you can actually release the conscious patterning, that loop that you've been holding yourself into. Um, Throat, you might notice it's harder for you to speak. Maybe you have a sore throat, you get sinus issues. Those are all physical traits. So it's always good to ask yourself, well, what exactly am I not speaking? Am I not living in my truth in? When you notice that it's going on in certain regions, especially if you haven't come in contact or done certain things to have that trait, for example. So another trait to go into that example, say you start having a bunch of leg pains and you weren't in an accident, you didn't fall down, you didn't hit it, but yet you're having pains in your knee, and you're having in your ankles or somewhere down in your legs. I've noticed that's a lot of time it's fear, like you're scared to move forward in something in your life. Okay, and so if you've gone through one and two and you realize, okay, well, the doctor says I'm clear and I haven't had any of these issues, but I'm having this pain here, it may be from that. Okay, so you do the mental checks, okay, to find what exactly is occurring. And what happens when these energy shifts come in, when they come in, they bring out these fears or these things that need attention in our lives. Um, Especially if you've been asking for certain things to change in your life. Okay, remember, we're part co-creators, so the more you are wanting to level up, right, the more certain things gotta go. You can't like hold a ton of pebbles in your hand and think that you can be able to hold the crystals on top of it. Something's going to fall out, so you have to start out with a clean slate. And anything that you've been holding up, whether it's a fear to move forward or indecision, not sure what to do, they will manifest into the physical a lot faster, especially during the ascension symptoms. Okay, and the best way outside of in addition to the tips that I've given you in the last video, is to actually the next thing is to actually pay attention to what it is that you're feeling, okay?